Today, we are at the intersection of two old colonial roads in Northborough. One was the road to Framingham in this direction, one was the road to Marlborough in this direction. The Marlborough Road was also called the Old Boston Post Road. The reason we're here today is because at this intersection, two British spies were intercepted on their mission. Stay tuned for more. In recognition of the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution, the Northborough 250th Revolution Committee was formed. As part of our commemoration, a series of short videos highlighting Northborough's role in the Revolution are being prepared. We hope you enjoy this series. Starting in 1774 and into the winter of 1775, General Thomas Gage, the commander of the British forces in Boston, recognized that the colonists living in the countryside were storing cannons, ammunitions, and large quantities of gunpowder. He was concerned this was in preparation for a possible conflict with British authority. General Gage needed information about the local geography west of Boston because he was planning to march troops through the area in the upcoming spring of 1775. The general assigned Captain Brown and Ensign de Bernier to investigate Worcester County. Their task was to make sketches of the countryside, including identifying roads, towns, rivers, travel distances, and possible sites for military encampments. The spies were disguised as countrymen. We are very fortunate that the Massachusetts Historical Society contains the detailed daily diary of their travels. They left Boston on February 22, 1775, with a servant named John. This was just 4 weeks before the battles of Lexington and Concord. Several times along the way, they were identified as British soldiers, which made their journey hazardous. They were warned the countryside may not be safe for them. Their route brought them to Mr. Jones' Golden Ball Tavern in Western, where they spent one of the nights, and the next night they spent at Buckminster's Tavern in Framingham, heading for Worcester the next day. They lodged in Worcester for several days, where they made many sketches of the area. Heading back to Framingham on Monday, February 28th, Ensign de Bernier wrote in the diary, "We went on unobserved by anyone until we passed Shrewsbury, where we were overtaken by a horseman who examined us very attentively, and especially me, who he looked at from head to foot as if he wanted to know me again. After he had taken his observations, he rode off pretty hard and took the Marlborough Road, but by good luck, we took the Framingham Road." This intersection of the Marlborough Road, also called the Boston Post Road, and the Framingham Road is today where Old Colony Road intersects Davis Street, not far from the building housing Monty's Pizza. Returning to Buckminster Tavern in Framingham to spend the night, they felt very uncomfortable as the local Patriot militiamen were practicing their maneuvers very near the tavern. The next day, they decided to walk to Marlborough from Framingham by way of Weston. Their goal was to walk west along the Boston Post Road from Weston through Marlborough and Northborough to the 37-mile stone marker in Shrewsbury. They were forewarned, do not go further west into the countryside. Hearing that, they gave their servant John all their drawings and sent him on his way to Boston. Approaching Marlborough, they were met by a horseman who asked many questions, inquiring, who were they, why are they here, where do they live? After the interrogation, they met with Mr. Barnes, a loyalist, at his home in Marlborough and hoped to spend the night there. Mr. Barnes informed them that Marlborough was not safe for them and they really should leave immediately. Leaving Marlborough, they made their way back to Boston. Mr. Barnes met them in Boston several days later and mentioned his home was searched looking for them. It appears the horsemen they met in Northborough several days earlier had spread the word of their presence in the area, and the local colonists were waiting for them. It is conceivable that the report by Captain Brown and Ensign de Bernier discouraged General Gage from moving into Worcester with military force. As a result, he decided to make his next military excursion into Concord. In hindsight, if the revolution did not start in Concord, it would have likely occurred along the old Boston Post Road toward Worcester.